Hey everyone, welcome to Second Sight Tarot, a branch of wellness. I'm here to do the monthly reading for the sign of Pisces for June 2021. I've already meditated on the cards, and please remember that this is a general reading. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm going to be pulling a couple cards. I do a little oracle, a little bit of tarot, actually mostly tarot right now. I already kind of pulled some cards that fell, and I think it's a very interesting reading. While I was meditating, I literally couldn't keep my eyes shut, and I don't know if it's what the energy of what's going on for you in June is or just me, but usually I can keep my eyes closed and go inward. Sometimes I get distracted, but I don't really have a problem like actually shutting down. So I don't know if the energy is high and like there's just like an awakening or something. I'm not sure, and we'll kind of dig into this a little bit. So I pulled some essence cards for the essence of the reading, and one of them is that I am the creator, and as I strive to think about my desires optimistically. I am the creator. So and it's interesting because there is a lot of optimism here in the reading as well from the cards that have been laid out so far. So I think it's interesting. I just feel like this like pull of, well, we'll get into it, but I do feel like this pull of like being in a really good space and then retracting, and then being in a good space and then retracting. That's kind of the energy I was feeling during the meditation. We'll see. I'm not sure. I'm just relaying what I felt, but we'll see how it goes. And the creation. I do feel like there is a lot of momentum here and creativity and different ways of connecting, and I think there is a lot about connection right now with yourself and with everyone else. And I think it's because also the world is coming back to normal. I don't even quote me on that, but some kind of normalcy to the point where like we are starting to see each other a little bit more. But I think this is just like I just feel like this essence of releasing some stuff that doesn't feel good to you anymore and connecting more consciously with like universal consciousness or collective consciousness. And this is interesting because I was feeling that, and then this card came out. I thought it was a clarification of kind of what I was thinking, and also a little bit of essence of being able to create what you want to create. And it's all about perspective and mindset and kind of where you put your energy and your focus in the month of June. So keeping that in mind, that we are in control of our destiny and what we make of it. It's just a matter of actually putting it in the mind and actually going with it. So I thought that was interesting, and I wanted to share a little bit. I'm going to pull some cards and then we'll get started. So I am doing the element spread, current situation or true issue, how to flow through intellect and communication, the emotions you can release or connect with, and how you can move through this to the final outcome. So ooh. I do see a lot of interesting transition. Not necessarily a tower moment as of right now or anything like that. It's more like slow and steady, or just deep-seated stuff needing to come up to the surface, but having like this beautiful outcome of a kind of then that's the thing that I was thinking of, like being like teeter-tottering. It's like dealing with some deep stuff and then seeing the brighter side of things, dealing with deep stuff and seeing. That's kind of the kind of energy that I'm getting here. Just one more and then get started. Thank you. Okay, cool. Forgiveness, set yourself free at the bottom, and stillness, lack of movement. And motivate and manifestation, but in the reverse. I don't always read these in the reverse, but I do think that there's some, like I said, and we'll get into this when we get up to the intellect and communication, how you're communicating, and some of the emotional stuff. I pulled a couple extra cards as I was shuffling, just to clarify the things that came out, because I was kind of being nosy. But I do think there's some deep-seated stuff and things that have happened that you're working through or maybe working through, and forgiveness could be the subconscious thing of things that to forgive others for their actions, so you're not holding on to it, not necessarily for them. I'm sure most of you have heard that. It's not for them, it's for you. And stillness, this could be like, you know, for some of you, I feel like there's an action happening, even though I don't see all action here, action cards, but I mean, I see a little bit, but it's more internal action, like really working on ways to shift the consciousness and shift the way you're perceiving things. So I think it's a lot of work. It seems like it's a lot of work, and maybe it feels that way, but it's for the greater good, of course. So anyway, so also the other part of the essence of the reading, I pulled the Star. This is the White Witch Tarot, I think. So I think that there's an inspiration here. I think that you've done some reflecting on the way you want to see, like, you know, you're planning for, it could be a little bit for the future, but you're planning ahead here. You're really doing some soul searching, and you're having these like a vision of what you want to attain, or the things that you're hopeful for. You know, I think there's like a lot of optimism here. And restoration, like you're restoring some of these broken beliefs or broken heart too. You know, I mean, I don't see that here, but it's been a hell of a year, and maybe you're just kind of restoring your faith and seeing a better future ahead and kind of having plans for the future again, that kind of energy. But anyway, I just think it's really beautiful. Like, you see this woman here, and there's a star above her, and then she takes that energy and kind of puts it into herself and does the work herself. And that's kind of what I'm getting from this. There's a lot of healing happening here, a lot of hope. There's finding like this inner peace that's really coming through, or that's at least the goal and what you're searching for, and like kind of what the essence of the energy you have in May or June. Sorry, we're in May now, but that's kind of what I'm getting from this. I think that you're really seeing things in a very bright-eyed way now, and having hope for a better next couple of months. So also you have the Hierophant, and this is also Taurean energy, but and we're just getting out of that that month now. But this is also a 5, which is a lot of change, and this is also about spiritual awareness, spiritual growth. Like, really, you know, it could be a teacher or somebody that you're kind of looking at, like a guru. I'm not into that, but you know, that kind of energy. Like, you're really learning and observing and listening, and you're really paying attention to this wisdom, this inner wisdom. It could be your inner self doing it, or external. Anyway, she's just listening in a tree with this owl who's reading a book, and I just think that's such a beautiful thing. And I think it's honoring, you know, I think it's honoring the knowledge that you are receiving now, whether it's within or without. It's also like honoring rituals, or maybe coming up with new rituals that you've been trying to implement in your life, or will be implementing in your life, or want to, you know, coming up with daily rituals that make you feel this spiritual connection with yourself, or with who, you know, whatever you believe in. I think it's also honoring traditions too. It could be older traditions and other faiths traditions, or religion, or just a cultural tradition, like Indian philosophy or something like that. That's kind of what I'm getting. But I do think that there's this like inner knowing, or inner willing to want, like this hunger to know this stuff. And I think that's what's that in combination with the Star of really having this deep healing. And I think that they're coming and working together. Like, your this knowledge, this inner wisdom is kind of helping you move through this, and having hope, kind of building a hopeful foundation for you to like foresee like a better future, or a better outcome of whatever you're thinking about. So that's kind of the essence of that I'm feeling here, hoping it's resonating. In the current situation, I'm just going to pull these when I get ready here. in your current situation or true issue, you have the Page of Wands. Actually, I'm going to read you the Four of Swords first in reverse because that's what came out first. I'm going to put it upright so you see. But the Four, I feel like there's like some kind of pushing through, like maybe you're taking on too much. And this could be a lot of what the essence of here, like, you know, you have your daily stuff, you have all of the stuff you're kind of working with day to day. Maybe your parents, maybe you're like, you know, you're working a lot or you're just emotional exhaustion. But this is maybe just check in and make sure that you're not taking on too much and feeling exhausted. It was in the reversal, so it's not a time of rest, you know. I don't know, that's kind of, I mean, she's just chilling there, you know, and I just feel like there's some kind of, I feel like you're just taking on a lot and you're not giving yourself the rest that you need. Just checking in with that. But at the same time, there's a lot of deep knowledge and learning and connection with yourself. And I think that could be just tipping you over to the exhaustion stage. So for some of you, that might be the case. For others, I'm telling you, like, I literally couldn't keep my eyes closed when I was doing the meditation. And that's not normally what that happens to me. So I don't know if it was me or not, but that's kind of what I'm getting here. It's like there's just so much, you want to know so much and you're diving into it so much. And you're just depleting yourself because there's no rest time because you're just so hungry for all of this new knowledge and you're just diving in deep along with all the other everyday stuff. So I also clarified that because I was curious of what was going on because I'm nosy. And you have the Page of Wands. And this is all about like exploration. And I do think you're looking so deep with like a magnifying glass. You're kind of honing in on a lot of stuff. There is a lot of exploration here. There is a lot of sense of adventure that I'm seeing here, even in your intellect and communication position. Like I just feel that. I just also, I think there's like this sense of discovery, this sense of like confidence that you're gaining from this knowledge because you're feeling more secure, more grounded, more stable. There's stability here, you know? I think you're like really, really exploring deep within yourself. And then the Heart card came out. Emotions and intuition. And I do think you're following your intuition more than the mind, like more than going inward. You're looking at things so closely now in a very enlightened spiritual way. This is deep healing. This is deep knowledge, deep wisdom, spiritual stuff, spiritual wisdom. So I think that this is also connecting yourself to heart more and your intuition more. And, you know, if you're not feeling this already, this is definitely in the current situation. So I do feel like this is coming for some of you or this is kind of what you're seeking for. For some of you, you're already like looking at things very closely. That's what I'm getting. I'm going to pull a couple more cards. Current situation. So this is the path, and I think that I'm not saying there's obstacles. There might be some blockages or obstacles or not seeing the path in front of you of where you want to go, or maybe you just don't even know where to begin with it, and that could be what's blocking you from actually seeing this path to walk up. She's looking at the stars, but she's not realizing there's a ladder right there going into this next adventure. So you're already looking for this adventure. You're already connecting with your intuition. Something's leading you somewhere new. Like this is not even a planned thing. I think it's just like you're doing the work, but it's kind of just guiding you. And there's this path. There's this new path that you're about to encounter or like go through and start to move through. But there's some things in the mind that need to be kind of cleared up before you can really jump deep in this with a open mind or with a clear mind. Or because of this, for some of you, for most of you actually, because of this new path and this new acknowledgement and this new knowledge that has come to the surface, this new wisdom, I think it's bringing things up to the surface, you know, and it's releasing things that you've been holding on to for so long. And there's deep healing happening here. Really deep healing. So in the intellect, how we move through this through intellect and communication, the first card that came out was the Ten of Cups. Yeah, it was the Ten of Cups. So I feel like this is all, there's this contentment or this feeling protected with your family. Maybe this whole year has made you feel closer for some of you. Or if you're longing that, maybe you have this contentment now and realizing that, you create your family or you create your surroundings of what you need to be fed, like how things are gonna feed you, so it could be created family, not just blood family. But I think it's just surrounding yourself with this harmony and bliss and contentment. I just feel like this this protection, feeling safe, But when I don't mean but on the other side of this, what I've been feeling lately, not lately, what I've been feeling in the meditation in the beginning, was this teeter-tottering, feeling this way, but something is coming to the surface and dealing with it. And then wanting this to feel this way or going into the space, and then something's in the way, coming up to the surface. So I wanted to clarify kind of an essence of this. And then you got another 10. So there is this completing this goal. There's and this is how you articulate things and how you communicate them and how you perceive them, how you hear that. Communication all around, full circle, And I think that maybe there is more harmony in the way you deal with things with your family, your tribe. But things are also coming to the surface too. They want to leave the body, and the Ten of Wands, or the Ten of Swords, I'm sorry. I think that there's there's these painful memories, wounds, traumas and stuff really poking at you and wanting to come to the surface. This may be keeping you blocked and articulating things in a different way, perceiving things in a different way, but also how you communicate and how you perceive things, There's just a lot of, I don't know, I just feel there's a lot of things trying to poke at you, hello, can you deal with me right now? But I think there might be an exhaustion there because there's a lot of things that are coming to the surface all at once, or a few things, not just one at a time. And that's kind of what I was feeling here about being exhausted and just taking on too much. This might be overwhelming for some of you, because while you're dealing with stuff coming up, because of all this stuff, this work and this deep wisdom you're kind of attaining now, or listening to, tapping into, I think there's also a sense of gratitude for some of you. Because of all this stuff coming up, you are appreciating the relationships and the family and the friends and all of that connection and that safety and protection that you have. Maybe you're looking for that because of this, or you're appreciating them because of this. So I thought it was an interesting way to have both of these cards coming in together, and they're both tens, which is interesting because I think there is something about to this is the ending of something before a new concept or a new way of thinking about this comes out. So you are working at the ending stages of letting go of some of this stuff. It's you're finally seeing it up front and in your face, and it can be exhausting and overwhelming. So I think it's a matter of perspective and really keeping your eye on the rainbow, and this aspect, this love and support and protection that you have, and just keep reminding yourself as these things come up that you're not alone and that you have support and that you can work through this. I do think that you have the inner wisdom to deal with this for sure. It's just a matter of not taking it on too much along with all the other stuff that you have going on, making sure that there's a fine balance. And you are setting a lot of new intentions. You're planting the seeds and watching them grow. I think a lot of this is setting new intentions for the way that you want things in the near future. And it's a really interesting month for you in June. Like I said, it's this, finding this balance of and bliss, I think that's the energy I'm getting, this pull. And I think this whole entire concept of the way you communicate with yourself, with people, how you perceive things, and the stuff coming up. And this isn't in the motion position, but you know, it's not too far off. I mean, this is how we communicate. I think this is affecting your communication in the past, and you don't want that anymore. You know, you don't want all these poking burdens and issues and situations and stuff to affect the way you communicate anymore. I think there's a shift here. You're planning a new way of doing this, you know, and I think this is all about returning to your roots and remembering who you are. You know, this is you coming home for you coming home to yourself. And that's a really beautiful thing to do. I mean, there's nothing better, I don't think, you know. I releases some of the pressure of society when you can really know who you are and be discerning on your own, stand on your own 2 feet with like inner strength and inner wisdom. You can't be touched. It's a really beautiful energy. In the emotions you can connect with and or release from this. Which one came first? The Page of Pentacles in the reverse. I'll show you the upright. So the Page of Pentacles is, you know, and this is in emotions position. So there's this, and it's in the reverse. So there is maybe like chances that you've had in the past that you've had opportunities to really shift things and release things that when they came up and you chose not to, so they kind of went back in, and they're kind of like knocking at your door now. And you know, when you look at the definitions of these cards, it's like wasted choices or chances, you know, wasted opportunities. But I feel like it's more of like, not wasted, it's just you have to wait. If you don't want to dig, you wait until it comes to the surface and deal with it. It's just that those opportunities have come around a few times, and it's trying to tell you that you need to it's offering you a time to release these things. I'm not saying need, but I don't know, I just feel like these are painful wounds, and it's like maybe you've hit bottom with not wanting to deal with this shit anymore. Excuse my language, but you know, it's like, do I want to, you know, having unrealistic plans or not unrealistic plans, but unrealistic solutions for dealing with your emotions instead of just dealing with it. And I don't even know how that looks for you, because everybody deals with it different. You know, I personally, when something comes up now, I try to analyze it. Like, what was the cause of that? How was the other person really feeling? What were their needs not being met? Were their needs not being met? And that's why they acted like that. So I'm just looking at things as a whole, instead of just my perspective and still keeping that hurt inside. I look at it, you know, at all angles now, and that's how I deal with things when they come up now. I mean, I could invite you to do that, but everybody deals with this stuff differently. So I clarified, and the King of Wands, which is a female in this deck, which I love. The King of Wands, I feel like there's a sense of noticing and seeing these things now. You know, seeing these missed chances of fixing these unrealistic views on your emotions. I feel like you're seeing this now. And that's this teeter-totter again. It's like the heavy shit and then this enlightenment. And then eventually it'll balance out. But just know that I feel like it's okay to be, I see something, I dealt with something, and now I'm back down here. And then I see something, and then eventually they balance out, and then eventually, and then eventually this stuff kind of dissipates and is healed, and then you stand in your power, you know, and you become a powerhouse with this. You know how to maintain your emotional state or your emotional stability. That's what this is. So I feel like I feel like you're seeing things, and there's this and you're seeing it at large. You're seeing it like very magnified. And I think you can only pick one. I'm sensing, I just have a vision. Sorry, I'm like all over the place. But I'm having a vision of like things being magnified and like blown up. And then you just seeing something very, very clearly, taking it out. And then the rest kind of goes down. And then you deal with that. And so like slow and steady kind of stuff. That's the vision I just got. I thought that was interesting. And then I wanted to know more. So, and I'll clarify. And I'm going to actually pull one more. Finding the beauty in all things. It is saying, I think this kind of goes with this for me, you know, standing in your power, and really there's a lot of healing going on, a lot of nurturing with all of these things too, because she's a female. I mean, the king is not necessarily that, but the female king, I feel like that, you know, the feminine energy, there's a sense of healing and support and love and nurturing and seeing the beauty in the lessons learned here, and like seeing the beauty in all of these things that have happened and taking out the things that are the gold out of this, you know, not looking at it so much as a victim. Not saying you are, but like that mentality of just like, oh, this happened to me, and you know, just holding on to that, because the body stores that, you know, and it creates dis-ease. So looking at this in a sense of the lessons learned, how I can move through this and nurture myself in the process. And I think that's what you're doing, and that's why you got the female king here, is because you are, you know, you're treating your emotions here very, very differently than you have in the past. There's more nurturing involved. There's more honing in and really extracting things at like the whole thing, you know. And then the King of Cups, which I thought was interesting. You got two kings and a page there, so there's like lack of movement there, but you have two supportive kings, and they're both the female kings, which I thought was so interesting. You got there's two male kings and two female kings in this. This is the Mystical Moments Tarot. I just love that you got both of them, because there is this deep nourishment and this deep healing that you're doing for yourself here, and like supporting yourself. So the King of Cups is all about like accepting what has happened here, you know, really finding stability within all of this, you know, standing in your like really supporting and anchoring yourself and allowing things to still come in and out. There's like a boat coming in, like this water is like very not aggressive, but it's not calm, and this person is just she has an octopus head, which I love, hair, but she's just standing there and allowing space for things to keep happening. Your emotions are going to still keep going. There's still things happening. It's not ending, you know. You're not putting things to a halt. You're just stable and grounded and secure enough to deal with the you know, the turmoil and whatever comes about with emotions. You're approaching it in a very deep stability now, deep stable way, and really accepting way, you know, in a very accepting way. And this came sideways, so I'm going to read them both, the reversal and that. So, but I think it's more upright just because of what I'm seeing, and then the clarifier was the beauty card. So I am reading them both. But there's also, with the teeter-totter that I was talking about, there's this interesting, you feel this, but then there's like this emotional turmoil, and then you allow this to affect you, and then you get back in stability, and then there's an emotional turmoil, or you get moody, or you start to react again with your old patterns, you know. Like I think I can say that for everybody when they're in transition of really working on themselves. Old habits come back a lot until you get it, and even that it still seeps, but it's almost like the more you do this and you realize like these reactive episodes are coming in with the way you deal with your emotions, and then you feel stability and grounded and caring for yourself, and then that happens again. Each time is less and less. It lasts less time. It lasts a shorter amount of time, and you also deal with it a lot different, and it's not as harsh. And I think that's where you're standing right now. You're like really supporting yourself, allowing this in and out to come and go, but being okay with it, because that's just how we are as humans. Like old habits die hard. They do. I think this is really beautiful and very normal for humans to go like this constantly, you know, and being okay with that. This is about accepting it. This is not about like feeling crappy and saying like I'm failing at this, or I feel shitty because I can't, what's wrong with me? I can't get into I can't fix this. It's okay to go teeter-totter as long as you're doing the work, which most people don't, honestly. Most people don't even put in the work. So accepting the fact that it's okay to go teeter-tottering, as long as you keep moving forward, you know, and keep coming back to this stable, nurturing growth period and secure and accepting period of always accepting yourself of where you are, meeting yourself where you are. That's kind of what I'm getting from that. And then in the final outcome, I'm going to pull one more. That was fast. That's interesting. This card fell out somebody's reading last month or the month before, and I forgot to pick it up, and I just picked it out today, and you got it, which I thought was which I really think is interesting. At the bottom of the deck is growth and gratitude. So I do think there's a lot of growth here. And the Void card, this is also all about self-belief and going inward and really seeing things in a very quiet place. Kind of the shadow spots of your body that you really haven't dealt with in your mind and your heart and your emotions, like really sitting with this kind of stuff, but being okay and supported in it, you know? And also this could be on the other end. It's coming up for me, so I'm going to say it. Some of you might get into this state and not remind yourself to accept your ups and downs and not be okay with it and kind of retract and go in this quiet space. And that quiet space is fine, but don't get stuck there, because this is all part of the plan and this is all natural and normal to do. So I don't know why I saw that, but it's just, this is about self-belief too, you know, and being okay with this new adventure. And sometimes you need to go inward to accept and see things clearly and step back from everything and see things from a very neutral space, from the observer space. So that's interesting that card came out. So the Eight of Swords in reverse, I'm going to show you upright and then I'll explain. So the Eight of Swords is, I think there's a focus now. You're focused on this solution or a solution. It could be just overall general of like what's going on in your life, or you could have, this could be all about a situation, but you know, you're really focused now. There's like, you have like a clear vision of the choices you have. I think that there's like this liberation you're feeling. And I think this is a really beautiful outcome, and you have patience. Long road ahead, awards wait. So yes, this is in the reverse, right? So, which is great to be in reverse for that. But there is a long road ahead, you know, and it is about being patient with yourself and don't be in this space too long, because then you miss all of the lessons that you want to learn and all of the experiences and the adventures of who you are becoming, you know. It's okay to go there to observe, but then step out and go right back into this and have patience with yourself. I just feel like just don't allow yourself to get in this woe and me state. Sorry to say that. I hope I don't offend anybody, but like, just don't go into that, like, I suck. I'm not saying you are, but you know, just don't go into that state of like not feeling worthy about all of this hard work you've put in, because you've put so much work in. This is a lot, and it's beautiful. This is a beautiful reading. It's a really nice reading. I'm gonna pull one more for the. Thank you. Ooh. So I think this is the Eight of Pentacles. The Miser. It's a 4. It's all about stability. Just making sure that all of this stuff that you've learned, share it. That's how I feel. I've been trying to tell everybody this. I feel like when you share the things you've learned, you help the people around you, but also you constantly not teaching, but sharing it is kind of like being a teacher, where you're constantly hearing it and then you keep doing it because you hear it all the time. So when I'm saying stuff to people, it's a constant reminder of what I'm doing and what I need to do. And if I fall off the wagon, then I get back on because I'm talking to somebody about it. It's a reminder. So she's kind of being greedy with all of the treasures and the abundance of all the stuff being learned here. It's just a reminder. Yes, it is stability, and you're finally, you know, and yes, this could be retracting. This could be a little bit about the void, you know, where like you've gotten all of this inner wisdom and now you're like, I'm not letting this go. I'm holding on to this treasure, and that's fine, but don't hold on too tight, because it's all meant to be fluid and moving forward. It's not meant to stay in that space. That's just the beginning. And then you're going to open another door and another path and another door. It's like never ending growth. I mean, welcome to the world of growth. It doesn't end ever. Not even until, like, not even when we're passed over, I don't think. So, in my opinion, you know, so don't be too don't be too greedy, I was gonna say, but don't hold on too tight with all of this. Share the knowledge so it keeps you learning, and so you make space for the next venture once you get to this outcome. So, really, really beautiful reading. I love it a lot. I've taken some pieces out of here that I want to work on myself, so thank you. I'm going to pull some self-care cards. I always like to pull these at the end. Pisces, June 2021. Look for fairies. This is also being playful, imaginative, you know, believing in magic, believing in things to happen, like you talking to the universe and doing all this stuff, believing that it is possible to attain what you want. And also for fairies. Spend time with animals. This is also being out in nature or your pets. They have amazing wisdom. So that's a really good one. But it's also just to keep you grounded in all of this, because this is a lot, you know. And connect with fire. Sorry. This could be sitting at a bonfire and just kind of being in the elements. Maybe, to me, this is like connecting with the elements too, being in nature. But this also could be like a fire ritual or safely, or something like that, or fire energy. You know, like wand energy, like spiritual energy. Fire is all about spirit. You know, spiritual connection, spiritual awareness. So that could be also that. I'm going to do one more. Spend time with animals. Came out twice. I don't know what that means. Could be go camping. Could be literally your pets at home. Your second children. Or your first children. If you don't have children. And I'm noticing the owl here, which is interesting. Because both of those owls look the same. There's an owl there, and then there's an owl here, which is inner wisdom. And I think that might give you some answers and like really connect you to your higher self, child. So anyway, Pisces, I hope that you enjoyed the reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. People stay relevant if there's likes and subscribes. It's something that I really love to do, and I would love to keep growing this as I learn about this stuff more and more. I'm still in training and always will be, I think. But I really appreciate the support. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your month of June. It's beautiful. Don't give up and stay grounded. And I will see you soon. Take care.